All right, let's jump straight into this. Welcome to today's Explainer, where we are digging into a truly revolutionary open-source platform called ShikkhaSathi. I want you to imagine, just for a second, trying to master highly competitive, complex subjects, but you don't have consistent internet access, most of the shiny new ed tech doesn't actually support your native language, and hiring a private tutor? Yeah, that's completely out of the budget. Well, for millions of students, that's not a hypothetical, it's just daily reality. So today, we're going to explore exactly how ShikkhaSathi is using localized, offline-capable AI to absolutely dismantle those massive educational hurdles in Bangladesh.
Here is our quick roadmap for the explainer. We'll start with the core systemic problems, introduce the ShikkhaSathi ecosystem, check out its 24/7 AI tutor, see how it makes learning limitless, peek under the hood at the tech stack, and then finally, look at the future of this technology.
Starting right off with Section 1, the Education Challenge.
Okay, so education in Bangladesh is intensely competitive. We're talking incredibly high-stakes exams. And if you fall behind, catching up is no joke. Now, private tutoring is the usual fix, but it's expensive, which instantly leaves a ton of kids out in the cold. Meanwhile, regular classrooms are stuck in this rigid, one-size-fits-all model. I mean, teachers simply do not have the time to personalize lessons for every single kid's unique pace, right? Add in the fact that internet connections drop constantly, making online learning super unreliable, plus a huge lack of real Bengali language support in most global edtech, and well, you've got a literal perfect storm of roadblocks.
So, traditional education methods often end up being rigid, pricey, and totally reliant on a perfect Wi-Fi connection if you want to use digital tools. The ShikkhaSathi approach flips this entirely on its head. It proposes an ecosystem that is accessible, deeply personalized, and, here's the kicker, it doesn't just tolerate offline environments, it's actually built specifically for them.
Which brings us to Section 2. Meet ShikkhaSathi.
ShikkhaSathi actually translates to Education Companion in Bengali, and honestly, it really lives up to that name. For everyone involved, it pulls students, teachers, and parents together into one cohesive ecosystem. Students get this highly engaging, gamified learning hub. Teachers get automated quiz generation and analytics, which totally slashes their admin work. Parents get a clear, transparent window into how their kid is doing. But the absolute game changer here, that last point, the offline-first progressive web app or PWA design. Meaning, this thing runs on a phone just like a native app, even when there's zero Wi-Fi.
And that leads to the biggest, most practical question. How do you actually learn when the internet drops? It's a daily reality for students in rural areas, our kids stuck on limited data plans. Because, let's be real, if your learning platform just freezes the second your connection dips, it's pretty much useless.
Well, here's how ShikkhaSathi completely bypasses that problem. Because it's an offline-first PWA, a student can download their quizzes and study materials while they're on a stable connection, maybe at home or in town. Then, they take those quizzes entirely offline. We're talking on the bus ride to school or out in a rural village with no bars. The app securely stores all their progress right there on the device, and then the magic happens. The absolute second their phone catches an internet signal again, the app automatically syncs all those grades to the cloud and pulls down the next batch of content. It is a totally frictionless, seamless experience.
All right, Section 3, the 24/7 AI tutor.
Now, if you've messed around with AI chatbots, you know they can sometimes hallucinate, right? They'll just confidently invent totally wrong answers. In an educational setting, that is a complete disaster. So to fix this, ShikkhaSathi uses a brilliant technique called RAG, Retrieval Augmented Generation. Instead of letting the AI just guess, the system forces it to fetch verified facts from trusted sources first. In this case, the official NCTB textbooks of Bangladesh. It reads the book before it speaks, guaranteeing that the AI tutor isn't just smart, it's strictly 100% aligned with the national curriculum.
Let's walk through exactly what that looks like. Step 1. A student types in a complex question in Bengali. Let's say they're stuck on an algebra problem. Step 2. The system takes that question and scans ChromaDB, which is a specialized database holding all the official textbook data. Step 3. It grabs the exact relevant paragraphs from the 6th grade math book. And finally, Step 4, the AI uses that specific context to generate a perfectly accurate, age-appropriate answer in Bengali. It's literally like having a master teacher sitting next to you at 2 a.m.
Moving into Section 4, Learning Without Limits. So, how do you actually keep kids motivated to study? You gamify the whole thing. Check this out. You take a quick 5-question quiz, you earn XP. You get a perfect score, boom, bonus points. You hit a 7-day study streak,
You unlock a 50 XP bonus and snag the Week Warrior badge. They've turned standard homework into this highly addictive game with levels and leaderboards. But here's the genius part. Underneath all the badges is an adaptive engine. If a student is breezing through the material, the AI silently bumps up the difficulty for the next round. If they're struggling, it dials it back. It meets the learner exactly where they are.
7. That's how many core NCTB subjects are currently baked into the platform: math, physics, chemistry, biology, Bengali, English, and ICT. And remember that RAG technique we talked about? Because the AI dynamically generates questions straight from those textbooks, students literally have an unlimited supply of unique practice material across all 7 subjects. They will never, ever run out of practice exams.
Okay, Section 5, Under the Hood. Let's geek out for a second.
Pulling off a seamless, offline-capable, AI-driven platform takes some serious engineering firepower. We're talking over 50,000 lines of code, powering more than 100 distinct features. They built this on a super modern stack: React for the front end, Python's Fast API for the back end. But the data layer is where it gets crazy. It runs 4 different databases at the same time. You've got PostgreSQL doing the heavy lifting for user accounts, MongoDB storing all the chat histories, Redis acting as a high-speed cache so those leaderboards update instantly, and ChromaDB running the AI vector searches. It's a remarkably robust setup.
But the AI setup? This is my favorite part. They aren't just leaning on one massive, slow, expensive AI model. No, they're using a multi-model Llama setup, running completely locally on the server. Think of it like a highly efficient relay race. If a student asks a tricky math question, the system hands the baton to Phi-3 Mini, because that model is specifically trained for math. General question in Bengali, it routes to Llama 3.2.3b for its superior language skills. And for quick, easy queries, it taps Llama 3.2.1b just for the sheer speed of it. It's a masterclass in optimization, keeping costs low while delivering premium, instant tutoring.
Finally, Section 6, the future of education.
The mastermind behind this, MD Habibullah Mahmood, has laid out a seriously ambitious roadmap for scaling this open-source project. In the short term, they're focused on fully deploying the AI tutor and the adaptive quizzes. Moving into the medium term, the target is hitting 10,000 students and rolling out native iOS and Android apps. But the long-term vision? Getting this into the hands of over 100,000 students nationwide, partnering directly with schools, and even expanding down to primary grades in other regional languages.
And this quote right here really anchors all that technical brilliance back to its human core. The goal isn't just to write some cool code. The goal is to democratize education. It's about empowering that student who could never afford a tutor, throwing a lifeline to a teacher who's drowning in paperwork, and keeping parents actively involved in their kids' success.
So I want to leave you with this final thought. Look at what this platform is already doing with localized, offline-first, multi-model AI. If an AI system can work completely offline, sync up perfectly with a national curriculum, and give 24/7 personalized tutoring to a child in a rural village in Bangladesh, what barriers to global education are truly left? I mean, it completely shatters our assumptions about the limits of tech in developing regions. Thank you so much for hanging out with me for this explainer on ShikkhaSathi. Keep learning, and I'll catch you in the next one.